superior radioed the school and told them there was nothing they could teach me, so they wouldn't let me, because I'd already learned all that stuff. Had already been through that Korean War, and so they wouldn't let me go to any class.
Oh, okay.
So I was just there for a while until they reassigned me. They sent me to French Morocco, which was a hot spot.
Okay.
And that was the Arabs were fighting the French, and
now how you went there from Norfolk? How did you before you went to French Morocco? Did you take any leave back
No.
to home or anything like that? Okay, so how did you get to
by ship.
by ship? You went overseas by way of ship. Now, was this a troop ship or was it?
Yeah, it was
commercial
like
ship?
a troop ship.
Another troop ship. Okay. And how long did it take you to get from was it Norfolk or New York?
It was from Norfolk.
Okay.
Boy, that's several weeks too. Just thinking about how I got back, but we landed in Morocco,
Okay. Okay.
and from Morocco, we got on buses and we went to what is called Port Lyautey,
Okay.
and that's Lyau. Lyautey. Forgot how to spell it. That was a French base and all.
Okay.
And when we got there, the French had an agreement with the United States that we couldn't wear uniforms if we went off the base. So we had to send home for civilian clothes. And so, I can't get it in my head now. But soon as, and you could bring your, well, we had to bring our civilian clothes, but you could bring your car over and even live off base. The French would always pick up, the Arab men would actually sell their girls because they didn't value women. And the French would put them in what they called the bushmere. And one of the things that, if you wanted to, which I never did, you could go there and pick out one, and the French would let you take her, as long as you had a place for her to live in town, they would let you take her and set up housekeeping, really, what some guys did. One of the guys was waiting for his automobile to come, and finally came. And since, like I said, the Arabs were fighting the French and trying to get their freedom, and we picked up that car, and there was a demonstration by the Arabs, and French had set up a machine gun here and a machine gun there, and they had this plaza where all these Arabs were demonstrating, and we were out there moving this guy's furniture, and we were told that if you hear any gunfire, come on back to the base. And we heard that those machine guns open up and all. And so we jumped in that car, and we went through those streets back to the base, because didn't want to get caught out there while they were shooting at the place.
Right. Now, what were your duties?
I was still a radio man.
Okay, you were a radio man.
Yeah, and that Port Lyautey was a central radio station for the Atlantic Fleet.
Oh, okay.
So we were getting the messages from Washington or the naval headquarters to pass on to the ships at sea.
Oh, okay.
And by that time, which was nice, they had an automatic. We didn't have to do the Morse code by key. They had we could type it, and it had tape that ran through a machine. You know, when we typed and we typed the Morse code on this tape, and it went through that machine, and it sent it out. But you had to know how to type, and that, of course, had to type fast because the machine went at a certain speed, and so you had to be able to be faster than that machine. So that's what we did there. We, like I said, when we went off base, we had to put on civilian clothes, and then if you were, they picked up any Arab that was, once the sun went down, all the Arabs had to be off the street because the French would pick them up and take them to their jail and actually torture them, matter of fact, if they caught them. But I spent 2 years there. I spent 2 years on the water and 2 years over in Morocco.
Okay.
And we could move about. We went to different Moroccan cities, Marrakesh and Casablanca, and that Casablanca. You always think about Humphrey Bogart and all that, you know. And we didn't have any problems. Another friend of mine, he lives in California. We were there together. We came out of Detroit. We didn't come out together, but he joined after I joined. And by some stroke, he was over in Morocco right after I got there. And so we would go out into town, and they had a nice swimming pool, and that's what we did most of the time. We would go to the swimming pool and swim for hours and then go back to the base. And I was never much of a drinker, so I never drank very much while I was in the Navy. I was young, and I never didn't like beer, didn't particularly like whiskey, but every now and then I'd have a brandy or something like that. But we spent a couple of years over in Morocco, and they had actually it was Negroid group up in the mountains, Atlas Mountains, headed by their leader called El Glawi. And El Glawi, during World War II, fought the Germans and met with Churchill and all those other. And those guys, at full speed on horseback, could hit any target you set up there, and they would do that for Churchill and them. But the reason I bring that up is because whenever the Arabs really, they were afraid of they were Berbers. And they were really afraid. So the Prince would call them out the hills, and the Arabs would disperse when the French couldn't control them. And they used to come right by our base. And on that base was really a French base, so that part of it was the communications where we were, and the rest of the base was Arab. I mean French. But the Arabs would try to sneak up at night and try to kill any Frenchman they could get, unfortunate, and of course some of the sailors were kind of, American sailors sometimes are not respectful of other people's cultures, and they sometimes thought it was funny trying to pull the veil down over some of these Arab women. There's one problem with that. If the Arabs saw you and caught you and you were out there alone, they would kill you, and which happened to a couple of sailors. They were stupid enough that they thought that was a joke. And come to think of it, that why I said that, going back to when we took leave in Japan, I'm going down the street, and these sailors were going down the street, and there was a Japanese old couple, and they forced them off to walk. And I almost went ballistic. Don't do that's their